The Beast is back. It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Beast Mode. Marshawn Lynch still churning out big games like he did a week ago, as it'll be the Oakland Raiders taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The Raven defense taking the field a few moments ago, and their all-time leading sack man, Terrell Suggs, was firing up the troops. They get set for what should be a good matchup with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State. It's the Pro Bowler, Derek Carr.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. The numbers for him from a week ago. 6 catches, 96 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Play action, Flacco. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And Roberts with it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
The #1 asset for a pass rusher, his legs. And even in his mid-30s, Terrell Suggs has his firmly underneath him. Last season, 11 sacks, his 7th year of double-digit sacks. Still has all the pass rush moves in his arsenal and can continue to bull rush people in order to get quarterbacks on the ground.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On 2nd down, Lynch. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Looking a little bit like a continuation of last week. He had 3 tackles for a loss and now 1 more here in the first quarter of this game.
And there's been no lack of force by him, taking on the offensive linemen, playing them, but also there's a suddenness to his game. They have that initial contact, and then he's gone, moving upfield and making those plays in the backfield.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And the Ravens have got it.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? And that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And now here come the Ravens. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still. Not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
So the fumble recovery, now Flacco to throw. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly executed crossing route. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead. Well, when you think of these two teams, two franchises, Baltimore and Oakland, Charles, what comes to mind?
Well, the ghost to the post in the late 1970s. But remember, that was the Baltimore Colts, who are now in Indianapolis. These are the Ravens, who came from Cleveland and formerly were the Browns.
They also have some history, though. The Ravens, between these two teams, won an AFC championship game in 2001. Also beat a Derek Carless Raiders 30-17 in Oakland a year ago. Caught left side to Crabtree. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down Ravens as Flacco finds the former Cardinal John Brown. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Alex Collins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. 3 catches, 58 yards.
This defense is ranked near the bottom of the league against the pass. You get the sense that he feels like if he gets covered on any call, he's going to be upset. He thinks he should be open on every snap in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he finds Cook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, the run with Lynch. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. He finds Roberts, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On the handoff, Lynch. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break that? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. He's going deep for Brown. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on second. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
3rd down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Bruce Irvin in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And before the punt, time is going to run out on this first quarter. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Getting set to go again. We get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. And we see his collection of highlights. He's always so tough to cover.
He really is, and there are plenty of reasons why. Runs great routes, has an understanding of defense.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They start the drive with Lynch. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
To throw on third down. Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Michael Crabtree and company now heading back onto the field. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard, Marshall Yanda. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Flacco here on second down. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Passing play. Flacco. Down goes Joe Flacco in the end zone. It's a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Carr now on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
The 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Not to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Second down, Flacco now. Got it complete to Crabtree. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's a first down run with Collins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, Flacco to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This is fielded at the 27. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your...
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Handoff comes to Lynch. A good positive play there, 9 yards, but still 3rd and long.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Carr. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, Carr throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a gain of 11, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
3rd down, Flacco from the gun. To the right side and complete to Hurst. A big-time 3rd down play for the Ravens. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Flacco. This is caught inside the 15. He got 29 yards that time.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Flacco now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. This is Collins on the toss. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Setting up to throw, Flacco. And this one's incomplete.
pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
The Ravens on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Flacco from the gun. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Carr now to throw. This one caught left side by Cooper. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. First down now, but that clock rolling. Carr now on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on 1st down? Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Flacco. A right side catch by Crabtree. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A red zone 1st down for Flacco. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Pass interference, defense.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Collins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alex Collins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Tucker with the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll kick things off with the twice-yearly battle for Ohio. This one has Cleveland making the trip south to Cincinnati. And that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Blake Bortles has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun, Flacco. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Flacco and the Ravens now, after the sack, need something good here on 3rd and long. Now it's Flacco looking deep for, oh, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Now Collins. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They go again with Collins. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Ravens on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Collins. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Collins, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They run with Collins, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Flacco. He's got the hook up to John Brown to the right side. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage. And hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They pitch it out to Collins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Flacco steps away to his left. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
It's complete to Brown, right side. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yep.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside and told the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you can just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon, now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he tried to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tony Jefferson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Carr going to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. Third down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a first down pickup.
Carr to throw after the play fake to Lynch. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
They dump it off to Lynch, and he'll go down at the 28. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing now is Carr. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
So it looked like maybe it's... Third or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Tavecchio puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. The drive starts with a run by Collins. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. 2nd down, Flacco now. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. Here's Collins. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Carr will try it again on 2nd down, and that'll be incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Cooper's got it. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Carr now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Carr to throw again. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too... rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now Carr again. And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now again to Collins. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still 1st down.
This is Collins on the handoff, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A break from the ground game here. Flacco. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today. Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball. They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Wide open receiver complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
23 yards on the play.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Carr now on 1st down. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's Carr. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's Carr to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. And this is Clark. It's Cooper. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Lee Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
This will be taken in at the 1. And the Ravens taking the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Justin Ellis in on the stop. This defense really clamping down. Although they're losing the game still, this second half has been theirs.
And they're winning it. I almost equate it to being a boxer. And whenever you see a good fight, the guy who is on his toes and doing the punching, that's the guy who's winning. And that's the way they're going at it defensively now. Much more aggressive in their calls, much more aggressive in their pursuit.
To pass, Flacco. And his throw is incomplete. Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Flacco from the gun. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Carr now to throw. This one caught left side by Cooper. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Carr now on first down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Carr. And incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And his kick is indeed good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
They'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And again, it's Collins. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. He did have one blocked earlier. This time it's for the win. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Baltimore, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.